these niggas, let me tell you, let me just paint the
When you say
picture.
these niggas, do you mean the job or do you mean the niggas he was on the phone with?
No, niggas I had
No,
to talk to. So everybody knows, everybody's old enough at this point to understand that when you work for any sort of corporate job, corporate establishment, that there's only certain shit that you can do at your level. Everybody knows this. From the most basic level to like complicated corporate shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, would any of you niggas go into a McDonald's right now and yell at the cashier about McDonald's policy?
no.
No.
It- right? Because you understand that that nigga, his job is to handle the money, punch in your order, and that's all he do. You know what I'm saying? He don't have any sort of control or power over whatever the fuck is going on, right? You understand that.
Right. Yeah.
So, first of all, I asked niggas to translate that to other forms of customer service. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to talk to the CEO, you stupid motherfuckers. That's never going to happen. You're going to talk to a customer service rep, and at most, you're going to talk to that nigga supervisor. That's it. Stop asking for upper management and all this shit. We can't even talk to them niggas unless we pass them in the hallway or they call us into a meeting or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So stop with that stupid shit. That's number one. Number two, we're all grown again. I expect you niggas to know what a ACH transaction is and the difference between that and a debit card transaction. That's what I expect out of grown-ups who are like, for example, buying cars or buying houses or buying boats, shit like that, over the internet especially. I expect you niggas to know what an ACH transaction is. So that shit takes a couple of days because it's bank to bank. It goes through the Federal Reserve. I gotta teach niggas now because this shit happened today. I got into it with a nigga on the phone who didn't understand how this shit worked. He was trying to blame us for stealing his money, $30,000. My nigga, we're a reputable company. I'm not gonna say who it is on air. We're a very reputable company that everybody's heard of. So it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not, we're not doing shit like that. Like,
Or I
so
thought you was just telling us a story. I didn't even know you was recording.
been recording, like I'm getting this shit off. Like that's why I told you niggas I'm Kobe right now. Just let me run that. I got it. I got the ISO
Yup.
right now. So
Yup.
this nigga gets on the phone with me. And when I say nigga, I just mean dude, because he wasn't a nigga. Um, but this nigga gets on the phone with me and he's like, I canceled my order like 30 minutes after I placed the order. And I say a word, but you clicked accept and process the order first. You did that part first, right? That's what you're saying, right, sir? Yes, that's what I'm saying. But I canceled it after. Okay, see, here's the thing. When you initiate a ACH transaction, the Fed is involved at that point. We don't have your money, sir. That shit is still processing. It's just, this is what I try to explain to him with his dumb ass. He keeps telling me we stole his money. Nah, it left my bank account instantly. That means y'all got it. No, motherfucker, that's not what that means. It's just like the mail. If you put some shit in your mailbox, when it leaves your mailbox, that does not mean that the recipient has it, nigga. It has to go through a process. It has to go through the mail truck. It has to go to US wherever it's going, and then it gets to it's a process, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't go from one mailbox directly to the next. What you're thinking of is an email, which would be like a debit card transaction. This is ACH, which is like the mail. My nigga, it's gonna take a few days before we even get the money to be able to process your refund. If you don't know how an ACH transaction works, it's cool. I'll explain it to you. And he's just like, so you're not gonna give me my money back? I'm like, yo, fam, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. That's what's gonna happen now. Now I'm gonna kill you. Whoever you are, sir, I don't know you. You're in some other part of the country. You know what I'm saying? But just know, in my mind, in my head canon, I'm running into you, and it's a wrap. Because you're too stupid to be trying to do anything online, and you're too stupid to even function clearly because you won't listen when I'm telling you, the Fed has your money, nigga. I'm like, the government has your money right now, nigga, not us. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway. So I was dealing with shit like that all day for 10 hours, you know what I'm saying? So that was
I
my
used
day.
to
How
deal
was
with
y'all
shit
niggas'
like
day?
that.
You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing? You know what I mean?
You were a little hot.
Right.
Welcome to the bar exam, people. I'm Shane. That's Eric. Or no, that's Marcus. That's Eric over there. How we doing, gentlemen?
I mean, I'm
Damn.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I shared
I'm
some
good. I'm
exciting.
all right.
You all right? You good? That's what's
Yeah.
up. Eric got new headphones.
I actually found these.
No word.
What you
Yeah,
You
did?
I
just be
just
having mad headphones around, so that actually makes a lot of sense. Like I've
yeah,
bought so many pairs of headphones over the years.
I couldn't find this piece to it, but then I ended up finding it.
There you
You
go.
got some
So I
heat.
That's
just
what's up, man.
reconnected it.
I don't know why your beard's coming in blue. It's kind of dope, but I
Said
don't know
it's
why
coming in
that's
blue.
happening. Yeah, it's like look on the show screen. You see that blue?
Oh yeah. What the
Yeah, I
hell?
don't know.
What the hell?
What the
Whoa.
hell? I don't know,
Oh.
man. What's good? Oh, Allie is doing her thing. So she'll be back on the next episode. You know what I'm saying? She's having big corporate executive dinners and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That might also just be in my head canon, but you know what I mean? We gonna roll with it though. You feel me? Um, Eric, you sent us a video earlier this week that I had a huge problem with, but go ahead. What was the video breaking down these age brackets that I totally disagree with?
Yeah. So I found this video. It was just a random thing that just popped up on my Instagram. And the video in question was basically a breakdown of the differences in age gaps between a bunch of different categories. And the categories in question, here, let me see. So it's little niggas, YNs, BBs, unks, OGs, and old heads.
Us BBs, big
BBs is
bros.
big bros.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then YNs is young
Young
niggas.
niggas.
Yeah. So the ages that they broke this up to were the little niggas is 8 to 14 years old. The YNs, the young niggas is 15 to 25. The big bros is 26 to 35. Unks is 36 to 44. OGs is 44, or sorry, 45 to 55. And then 56 plus is the old heads. And this was posted by Detroit Rap Daily. I don't know if they posted it themselves as their opinion or if they just found the nigga in the video that came up with the brackets, but yeah, that's how that was. You had a major disagreement with this.
Yeah, I just don't like being unk yet. That's all it is. Like I'm just not ready to accept that. You know what I'm saying? I do feel older than Big Bro, but I don't feel unk yet. Like I'm like somewhere in the middle of there. Like I'm like I can't be a big cousin or some shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Why I gotta go straight to unk from Big Bro? That's crazy to me. Like
No. So I believe you can keep both, bro. You can still be big bro and have unk status. You are, and if anything, if
yeah,
anything,
expound.
if in 2025, with people identifying as how the fuck they want to identify, if you tell me that because you identify because you wear jerseys, you wear your hat backwards, you wear casual clothes. You're not ready for the leather grill mans and the hey your computer love turned up because you don't reach that status by just mind by age. It's a mindset.
Okay.
Because guess what? Jim Jones is 50 plus and he is a young nigga.
Yeah, Jim Jones a
Yeah.
YN. Jim Jones
So
a YN for sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
So
a fact.
you don't
But
have
he unk too, though.
huh?
He unk too, though.
No,
Like Jim Jones is definitely unk. He got mad grays, bro. You can't have all them grays and not be unk. Like I ain't got no grays. I'm
that's
just
true.
bald headed. I can't grow hair, but my shit ain't gray though. The
yeah,
shit
but
that do grow is all black still. You know what I'm saying? Like
so yeah,
nobody believes my age either. Like I got a birthday coming up in like 2 weeks, nigga. Nobody believes how old I'm finna turn.
because black don't crack.
I mean that's a fact too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's a
think
fact too.
I'm just gonna still say you 29.
I be feeling. See, that's the thing. Like I be feeling 29 until I hear certain music, and I be like, "Nigga, what are they saying?" Oh shit, I done turned into my parents, nigga. Like it happens all in one sentence, just like that. I be like, "What the fuck are these niggas saying, nigga?" That was some shit my mama would say when I was listening to
Yeah.
Bone Thugs back in the day. God damn, I just turned into the old nigga right then. Like that's when I be feeling like,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like because I go out, so I'm at bars, hookah clubs, this, and legitimately, you have to, like, conversation is conversation.
Mhm.
You have to ask, how old are you? Like that's the first question.
Yeah.
Like it is no, oh, you could have like, so because I'm 40, so when I was getting into the 35 and up clubs as a 21-year-old, you automatically knew I was younger just because of the way I went in there.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have like this was a, I ain't gonna say upper echelon, but you knew the older nigga dressed in the way of the younger nigga dressed. Like I was like, somebody let you in here? Of course they did. But you knew that was a young, like, so you didn't have to be like, oh, how old is you? You know I was at least 21.
Right.
So it was more just getting in was the status of questioning like how old, so it's a different day. It's different time. Now it's different, bro. Like it's totally different. And the crazy part is because like my oldest is a certain age, like I feel like everybody knows her. So like if you're in
Here's a question that I have for you too, as a nigga that goes out. This is something I've been seeing online a lot, and I want to know if this is actually some real life shit or is this some online shit. The YNs, not the real YNs, like the 21 to 25 YNs, the grown YNs, you know what I'm saying? The ones who are legally adults who can get into these clubs and drink alcohol and potentially rent a car. These
yeah.
YNs. Going after like MILF status, like traditional MILF status, 40-year-olds and up, and they're going for it. Is that a real thing?
So yeah, it's a real thing on both sides.
Okay, talk to
It's
me.
it's the 21s going after somebody older. And this is, oh my God, this is gonna turn into like tonight's conversation, like a deeper meaning type shit. Them type of niggas are going for a mother role that they
Yeah, they're
never
going
had.
for sugar mamas.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
and then at the flip side of that, the woman's side is going to this young because she can't run no type of game. He don't under, like if you say some stuff to us, we'd be like, bitch, I ain't doing that, But he only has one reason. He only has one avenue. He's only there for one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and what's understood don't have to be explained. Like that's so it's a mutually beneficial role. But yes, to answer that question, yes, it's a real thing.
I
Like
saw this chick on, I think it was Threads, and it might have been Twitter, but I think it was Threads. And she posted a screenshot of this young nigga that was trying to get at her, right? And she asked him in the text thread, she was like, "How old are you?" And he said how old she was, or he said how old he was. I think he was like 22 or some shit, which means he was born in 2003. You know what I'm saying? Which in my mind is mind blowing. I'm like, that's impossible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not an adult if you were born after the year 2000. Just in my mind, it doesn't work. The math doesn't make any sense because I graduated high school in 2005. So I'm like, Nigga, that shit was 10 years ago. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm going to my 20-year anniversary in a few months, that shit was forever 10 years ago at
Shit.
most. So she was like, I graduated high school the year you were born. This nigga replies to her and says, I'm so proud of you. I was like, that's a slick response. I like that. But at the same time, like, that's crazy. Like, because also you got to think of the opposite dynamic, of course. My old ass at, however old I'm finna be, you can do your own math on that one if I graduated high school in 05.
Niggas don't even know what ACH transactions is, and you want niggas to do fucking math on the fly like that?
They can do their own math. You know what I'm saying? I'm a unk though. By that chart, I'm solidly in unk status. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, though, it's like, nigga, I can't ethically get with a 21-year-old woman at my age. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is going to be frowned upon. Now, I could get it off looks wise because of how young I look. But for people who know me, and then with that giant clue I just gave, you know what I'm saying, towards my age or whatever, it's like, you can do the math pretty easy and figure out what's 20 plus however old you are when you graduate. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, that's how old this nigga is. So it's like, yeah,
Right.
that nigga can't be with no 17-year-old. He was a junior when she was born. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But the opposite, we ain't really tripping.
Yeah, the opposite. It's always been a double standard. So, I mean, and I graduated 03. So we are both from.
So imagine that. Imagine, like, I mean, you're married, so like, this is pure kayfabe. You know what I'm saying? But like, just imagine dating somebody who was born the year you graduated high school.
Yeah,
that's so nuts.
Well, that's equally nuts for me because I had my daughter when I graduated high school. So, like I said, she's 21 now. So that's why I was like, now, like, recently she's been going out with me. Like, we hang out. Like, it's lit. Like, we go to brunches.
That's dope.
Like, it's dope. Like it's the whole thing. But also meeting any girl that's like 25, 23, 20, I always feel like, oh, damn, you know my daughter, or you're in the same friend group or the same circles or same this. So, like, I got to be careful. Like, that's why I say conversation is just conversation. But the first comment has to be how old you are, because you can start talking about X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, and 3, and then it can go down a rabbit hole. With that,
I'll tell you the first time I really felt like awkward about my age, like, because of something similar to that, right? Like, I don't have no kids, but this is the situation. I was dating this chick, and she had a friend who was younger than her, and the friend's dad had her when he was young. So when I found out how old he was and how old she was, I was like right in the middle of their two ages. So it was weird because it was like, I could be friends with your pops, but I could also be friends with you. And it's, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm right in the middle of both of y'all's ages because of how young he was when he had you, but also how young you are. Because I was only like maybe 32 at the time or something. So she was like, whatever. Like, I think her pops was, well, no, I was closer to her pop's age, actually. I think her pops was 38 at the time. I was 32, and she was like 22. You know what I'm saying? But she was friends with the chick I was dating who was like 28. So
can we play music on here or no?
Nah, not on YouTube. Okay. They be tripping.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, go look up the lyric to 2 Chainz Gray Area.
Okay, yeah, I got to, because I totally mean something different when I say gray area.
No. Yeah, go look up that whole song and that chorus. You'll understand. And like that speaks to me right now as as the age and what you're talking about. And that song it's so, and it's an older song too. It's like 5 or 6 years old, but it's still relevant today, especially in this transition period.
Well, Titty, he gonna make music like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. His music will last the test of time just based on how he raps and, you know what I'm saying, the shit he raps about. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, a lot of his old shit holds up.
So I'm gonna ask you a social question. Like, who, like, whatever your preference is, right? A 5'5" brown skin. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying whatever it is, right? You have that in your head right now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
She hits every point. She's like if you say face card, 9.3. Body, no BBL. She work out 8.3 on a bad day, 9.3 when she put on clothes. Finances in or all across the board. Yes. Matter of fact, if you took her to the family barbecue, your uncle or your OG for this conversation or the elder would be like, nephew, that's you? And you hit the chin hair.
Proud to say, yeah, like
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
I'll be doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She has a daughter that is the same age as you.
okay.
Do you still continue with this when you find out?
Today, yes. That was a problem at one point. There was there was somebody I was dealing with who was, I want to say she was 11 years older than me and her daughter was 11 years younger than me. So, that's basically, that's close. You know what I'm saying? I've never been in a situation where the daughter was my age because realistically the mom would have to be kind of up there in age if that was the case. Like she'd have to be like pushing 60, which means she would be close to my mom's age. And I think that would be the weirder part for me. I think the fact that whoever I'd be dating would almost have more in common with my mom than she would me. I feel like that would be the weird part.
Yeah, probably the same for me too, honestly. Once you put it like that, especially for our mom, yeah, it would be the same way for me.
That would be the weird part, I think. You know what I'm saying? Not really more so the daughter being my age, because then we'd just be homies, you know what I'm saying? And whatever. I'd treat you. It would almost be more like a step sibling type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like a step sibling relationship more than a stepdaughter, even though technically if I like married her mom, she'd be, you know what I'm saying? Like it'd be more like that. Like almost how my dad's wife is. Like she was never in a stepmom role per se. She's my dad's wife. But she's cool as shit. So it's like you're almost more like a big sis when I'm around, like even though technically you're my stepmom. Like
there's I know I don't say I know of her. I know her. This lady is 60, right? 60 years old. Went down to the Dominican Republic and got BBL snatched. And when I say BBL snatched, like the BBL is BBLing.
Okay.
Like I mean, and you know how, and this is gonna sound weird. You know how they be like, oh, if you're in the club and it's a T, and and you can be tricked because you didn't know what well, you were attracted to me as a woman. Like if you saw her, you would think she was a younger chick. You would not think that she was 60, or whatever.
Well, I mean, what's her name, Eric? What's that one model that Joe be shouting out all the time? Bernice?
Yeah, Bernice, yeah.
That's like her. She looked,
I think she's from like New York or something like that.
She looks hella young. Bernice Burgos? I think that's her. That's her name, right, Eric?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
She looked mad young, and she is easily in her, I'll say, at the youngest, she's in her late 40s.
Puerto Rican model. Oh, she only 45, bro.
That's it?
Yeah.
Damn, that's it, really?
I thought she was like pushing, because she got a grown daughter, I'm pretty sure. So I always put more age on people.
Her age is 45, April 17th, 1980. She's an 80s baby. She's 5 years older than me.
Shit, never mind. I'll take all that back. Never mind. You're supposed to look like that.
Yeah. I mean, she's fine, but I mean, I wouldn't I know what you're saying.
That's funny.
It's some good ages, you know what I'm saying? Niggas, take care of your health. You know what I'm saying? The older you get, you know what I mean? This nigga T-Rex. We gotta have, prayers or well wishes or whatever you believe in for that man. He had a seizure on stage battling Ichigati.
I want.
I heard about
Yeah,
it
that was
and I
crazy.
just saw the video and that did not look good. I hope he's all right. Any
No, it
updates on
didn't.
him or
No updates, but I mean, this is gonna. First of all, everything you said, well wishes, want speedy recovery, don't want the man to pass. I want his family to be by his side. All of those go without saying. Okay,
mm-hmm.
now,
Okay.
nigga, that was the worst place to ever have a fucking seizure. Mind you, forget the fact on camera on it. You're in battle rap. Nothing is off limits. Do you know how many stupid ass T-Rex lines we finna get now about you having a seizure on stage and you shaking and then it's almost like the internet. These write itself. The bars are gonna write themselves. Everybody,
Yep.
like you and like,
Yeah.
everybody is going to have a T-Rex seizure line. Whether it's a respectful one, whether it's a disrespectful one, whether it's a funny one, or but everybody's gonna be, oh, I had you with the 299s and you were shaking like, come on, everybody's going to have this bar because on the biggest stage in a culture where nothing, if nothing was off limits, it has to be battle rap.
Oh, that's a fact.
Like nothing is off limits. Like, and I'll say this: it's not even enough respect in the game for somebody to be like, "Man, you don't get no points for that. He had a seizure." No, you don't. No, it's two. It's two things that are going to happen: who says it first, and then who says it the best.
Yeah.
Those,
niggas
those
wanna test my rage. I'll up the Glock, leave him looking like Rex on stage. Like it's gonna be some shit
yeah,
like that. Like
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
it's gonna be unless like Rum Nitty do it, then it's gonna be the most creative shit we've ever fucking heard. But if it's anybody else, it's gonna be something probably along the lines that I just said. Like,
Yeah. If it's Rum Nitty, he might end up taking the cake for being the best.
yeah, no, that shit is gonna be incredible, whatever he says, because he is the
Yeah.
most creative punchliner maybe I've ever heard ever. Like out of anybody.
Yeah.
Like
He's
not
he's top
like
he's
not
top
just
five.
battle rap. I mean regular rap too. Like he
Oh,
might be the greatest punchliner in the history of punchlining. Like that nigga is amazing. Some of the shit he comes up with. Like it sounds like I'm being hyperbolic, but I mean every word I'm saying. Like this nigga is incredible.
He really
Like
is.
dead ass.
I'm trying to really think if I can put. I mean, he's good. I'm
Who punchlines?
punchlines. I'm a if only on punchlines for me,
Punchlines.
I'm gonna go B Magic.
I feel like B Magic.
Mm.
I feel like B Magic hits you with more. So this is how I would describe their styles, right? If these niggas are fighters, B Magic is the nigga that's gonna hit you with 7 jabs and then a right cross. And each of them jabs is gonna land, but they jabs. You know what I'm saying? If you got a good solid chin, you can eat most of them. You feel what I'm saying? Nitty comes out throwing haymakers every goddamn punch, like, and somehow don't run out of wind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he come out swinging wild as shit. Like, did y'all niggas see? Oh my God. Did you niggas see Charleston White versus the Island Boy, the boxing
Oh my
match?
God, man.
First
That
of all,
was embarrassing.
that's not what we saw. We saw Muhammad Ali go again.
Did you see the shit? Real shit. Did
We
you see
saw
it?
Muhammad.
It was unbelievable.
Dog,
It
I was
was
cracking up.
Yeah, it was hilarious,
That
and he
shit
it
was
got with him too.
hilarious. And Charleston White whooped his ass. That's the crazy part.
it was crazy.
That nigga quit.
I did not know that he had that in him.
Like it wasn't even good. Like anybody else
It,
would
it,
have
it really
whooped the shit
wasn't.
out of Charleston White, but Charleston White just happened to get the right opponent because that nigga was
Yeah, he did.
terrible. He was
He was
swinging.
awful.
He was doing the with the bent wrists. Like, how do you even bend your wrist with boxing gloves? He found that nigga found a way.
Yeah, that was
Charleston White was
crazy.
hitting him with that jab. Like, nigga, you better back your ass up. I'm tired and I'm an old man. Fuck that. That nigga was exhausted at
Yeah,
the end of the fight, and he
he
just started
was.
throwing that nigga every time he tried to rap. Well, nigga, get off me,
Yep.
nigga.
Hmm. Not wrapping me up. You
That
can't
shit was
hit.
hilarious. I was like Charleston White. I didn't even like the first I heard of it was last week, I think, and
Yeah.
the nigga walked up on the island boy and like put his finger in his face, and then he was like,
Oh
"Oh, I can
yeah,
tell you ain't ready to fight." He was like, "You let me do that to you? You let me just
he
disrespect
did.
you? Oh, I can tell you ain't ready for me." And then he whooped his ass in the ring. He was right.
Yeah. That's a fact.
I got maybe this, and I want to put body types aside.
All right.
Who who do we want to see settle it like that? Because I mean, there's like, and I'm talking from a good fight perspective.
Yep.
Like who else?
Like it's just far as like rappers or or just random
Anybody?
celebrities in general.
Yeah,
In like
anybody.
'06, I would have liked to see 50 in game handle it like that. I think that would have been a relatively fair squabble,
Mm.
Oh yeah, yeah,
size wise.
yeah,
Size
because that's
wise,
when
because Game was
50.
slimmer, but he was taller, so he had the reach. So weight wise, they were probably about even, whereas 50 was shorter and stockier.
Yeah,
So they were
and he wasn't
they're
super
both
cock
heavyweights,
diesel
though, I would
huge yet.
imagine. You said who?
Mm.
I said 50 wasn't like super dieseled out yet by that point.
Well,
Like
yeah,
he was
kind of. I
starting to he
mean,
was starting to get there,
the in the
but
club video was out.
yeah, that's true.
Game had to catch up. Game was
Yeah,
slimmer when he first came out, and then he got bigger as time went on.
yeah,
Like he was probably at his most swole at the time that the Jesus Peace album came out.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I
So
can agree
that
with
was
that.
probably the era that they would have probably had the best fight boxing wise. But I don't
Yeah,
know. I guess because I know 50 was a trained boxer from back in the day, so I know he got it. I don't know how good of a boxer Game will be because he has the reach. Like if he's a good boxer too, then I would probably have Game. But if
yep,
he's not a good boxer, then I got 50 for sure because I know he can box.
yep.
Mm.
Um,
I would have wanted to see Gucci Man and Jeezy.
I think I would have Jeezy in a head up boxing match,
yeah, I would
especially
too.
today. Wait,
Really?
no, actually.
Even no, even back then,
Both
I
of them
would have
niggas work
GC.
out. I don't know who will win right now.
Yeah, I
Right
was
now, yeah,
gonna.
I don't know. But back then, I got
Prime
GC all day.
lean Gucci versus Jeezy. I got Jeezy.
Yeah,
Mm.
Fresh off
yeah.
the
Gucci was
body
on too many
Gucci versus
drugs.
Jeezy. I got Jeezy.
Yeah, Gucci
Hey,
was on
this.
too many drugs. He couldn't fight.
But now it might be a lot more even because both of them niggas work out and they be on their health shit. So
So I want to see something stupid, and you got prime black jumps cat suit Serena Williams,
okay.
Megan Thee Stallion.
I mean Serena based on the athletic ability, I would imagine.
Yeah, like and then you got to think her athletic ability. Megan still has reach.
True, but she'd
Yeah,
have to first of all, she would have to anticipate Serena not being able to eat no punches. And she's from Compton, so I highly doubt that she's never taken a punch to the face before. You know what I'm saying? Like I imagine that, like what my nigga 607 Unk say, he was like that's all they do in California. They practice squabbles.
That need
practice
60
squabbles.
607 is not a real person, bro.
Yeah, no, and fuck the dumb shit he said. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Like,
I'm not, cool with that. But what I am saying, though, is in that same interview, that shit was funny that he was talking about how niggas in California be training out the womb And he was like, all they do is squabble. He was like, no, y'all niggas trained to squabble. Like, y'all squabble for real in California. Like, it's different out here. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. Like, them niggas catch fades for fun and shit. Like, it is very mentality, being in the streets of
Yeah.
LA being versus anywhere else. Like, I don't know too many places that niggas are just fighting for just like it's part of
Just
the
because.
structure of you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when you go to jail in California, it is like an established thing. Like you have to fight at least 3 people who you're enemies with before we leave you alone. Like, and it's a known thing. Like there's nowhere else in the country that's like that. Where it's just like, oh, where you from? Like niggas don't even know where you're from, and then until you say where you're from, that's when you become the enemy instantly. Like, oh, you're
Yep.
from where you from? I'm from 8 Mile. Oh, nigga, I'm from 7 Mile. We got to fight. Why? Because of that. That's the reason. Like that California. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Right.
shit is
Yeah.
nuts. Like this nigga.
I
Yeah,
think
he
my
from
two
your city.
fights.
I didn't even think about that shit, Marcus. He is from your city.
Yeah, that's why I said we don't claim that
Oh
nigga.
yeah. Yeah.
Like, then
I'm from
stop
St.
playing with
Louis.
me, gang.
St. Louis gang.
Stop playing with me, gang.
Stop
Stop
playing
playing
with
with
me,
me.
gang.
Like that nigga is like
Was he making noise in St. Louis before he started all this no
no,
jumper shit? Oh,
no.
nobody knew. Okay.
So here's the thing about St. Louis, bro. You can make you can Sexy Red
Shout out Sexy Red.
is a testament to this. You can make noise nationally and then come back to St. Louis versus leaving St. Louis and everybody knows you. And then it's like, oh damn, we're happy to see like and I only because of the rises are different. You take Glorilla, right? Everybody like Memphis knew Glow before the world knew Glow.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That don't happen in St. Louis. So when the world found out about Sexy Red, that's when all of St. Louis found out about Sexy Red. Now
And
it
was it
was
always like that though? Like, cause
so,
Nelly and them was popping in St. Louis before they was popping nationally, right?
so this is a crab in a bucket city, bro. So like
Okay.
everybody had it's not
Word.
the scene is not as kumbaya. Like it's when we gonna go corporate. Everybody works in silos. So there is like there are artists who literally make noise and are have legitimate platforms and legitimate and you be like, who? They from where?
Yeah.
I ain't never heard of them in St. Louis. And it is crappy because like if you ask 2 or 3 of the or 4 or 5 of the right people who and they've never heard of you, but you've also got a name in these, oh, well, they be coming to Detroit and they be doing this. And I'm like, oh yeah, I ain't never heard of bro. And they might be solid. And they might be, you know what I'm saying? They're just not in the same, or if you heard of them, it's never on the level like, oh yeah, I'm a vouch for them because I don't have a dog in that fight.
Right.
So it's no universally known like in the whole scene. And the scene is also too young too, because it's like everybody wants to be a rapper.
That's the crazy thing because Detroit is very much the opposite. Like everybody who's popping in Detroit was hot in Detroit first. And they got
Yeah.
the whole city damn near to fuck with they shit, no matter what side of town they was from. Cause you know, there's like it's not really a beef per se, but there's like an underlying tension between east side niggas and west side niggas. The beefs are really between the neighborhoods on each side of town, but like when east side niggas and west side niggas get around each other, there's just this thing.
Yeah, it's like a weird
But
energy.
it's just unless you are like already homies with the people from the other side of town and whatever like that. But um the rappers who were able to get the whole city to bump their shit was all hot in Detroit first. Doughboys Cash Out, which is where like Payroll came from. I swear Vezo, he was part of Team Eastside first. Peasy, same thing. Sada Baby, he came out of the gang culture more so, but all them niggas from his hood all rap together, so it's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? Like it was,
Yeah.
band gang, like, all of these niggas, like even Calico to a degree. Like he was always known through the battle rap shit, but he always had music connections as well. You know what I'm saying? So all these niggas were hot in the city first before they ever got popping like nationally. So, that's just interesting that it's like that. And then Phoenix niggas, Eric, from your, experience, they got to leave Phoenix in order to, so this is kind of more like St. Louis here. What would you say to that?
Yeah, like pretty much all the niggas that try to be popping in Phoenix, they always got to go to either LA or they try to gotta go get shit popping in like Texas or something like that, like maybe Dallas or Houston, one of them areas. But it seems like out here it's like too much of like a melting pot out here for niggas that are in Phoenix to get popping, because then it feels like the niggas who do get some type of notoriety out here were always niggas that came from somewhere else first. So then they end up repping the shit where they're from first, and not really Arizona so much so.
And then another thing I noticed too with a lot of Arizona rappers is because a lot of these niggas are gang affiliated, they don't necessarily rep Phoenix. They'll rep the West sort of at large, and then they'll rep their gang a
Yeah,
lot. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these niggas, they rap like niggas from other places, even when they're from here. Like one of my favorite Phoenix rappers raps just like Detroit niggas. And even some of the beats he raps on are very similar to Detroit beats. And I thought the nigga was from Detroit when I first heard him. And then, is one of Sco's homies actually, shout out Lasco. He was like, nah, that nigga from here. Like he from the West Valley. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
so there's not really
That's
a
the thing
Phoenix
about
style. It's more
yeah, there's
influenced
not
by
really a
LA kind
sound.
of.
Yeah, there's not really a sound out here. It's whatever everybody else is influenced by.
Yeah.
Mm. You know what? Speaking of Phoenix, I'm might as well tell y'all now. August, I'm gonna be in Phoenix.
All right.
All right,
So
All
bet.
right.
so that weekend we gotta like we gotta kick it. We
Hell
gotta
yeah.
see.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
you
Hell
know,
yeah. We definitely got to do
I don't
that.
know what I'm gonna be doing in Phoenix, but definitely there for the weekend. So
Yeah, we're gonna be doing something for sure, for sure.
Right. Yeah,
We'll go
hell yeah.
outside, you know what I'm saying? I'll pop outside for the homies, you know what I mean?
Yup.
If there's a reason I pop outside, I'll pop out. You know what I mean? But I'm an old unk ass nigga now, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be in the house.
so
Big bro be in the house too, though. Fuck all that.
I feel
Too
like
expensive outside.
you gotta get out more. Like you gotta be like, bro, I'm just going. You know what? When was the last time you was out till like 2 in the morning?
Psh, nigga.
The fact that you hit us with the
I was
old
probably at
nigga
the
sound
crib.
effect.
I was probably at the crib last time I did that. Cause I be outside when I go home. Like when I go home, I'll be doing my shit. Like I turn right back into a 25-year-old nigga. Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's some cause that's the crowd that I do that shit with. That's the crowd I came up in the clubs with. That's the you know what I'm
And you feel
saying?
safe.
Drinking Hennessy, drinking, you know what I'm saying? Remy, smoking blunts on top of it, not getting sick. Like that was the crowd I did all that with. So I can revert back to that mode when I'm there. Like, but when I'm here, everybody who I fuck with is like on family shit. So don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I
Right.
moved out here when I was older. So niggas was like right in the phase of like kind of leaving that shit behind and starting to get serious, and niggas is getting married and buying houses and getting serious corporate jobs and shit. So it was like just at the time I was coming out here and starting to get my feet wet and get comfortable with people was at the same time everybody was starting to settle down. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I just never really had a crowd out here that was on that type shit. Whereas when I go back to the crib, even the niggas that's married, like we be knowing they wives and shit because they wives was around back in the day when they was boyfriend and girlfriend type shit. So it's they part of the clique. So it's just like, hey, yo, L Boogie, I'm taking Marcus with me. That nigga gonna be back whenever he get back, and you know it's cool because he's with me. And she's like, yep, I'll see y'all niggas later. And that's that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no
Gotcha.
questions.
Okay.
Like, so it's just, you know what I mean? Like, so I'll probably do that again probably within the next month. You know what I'm saying? Because I plan on going to the crib and doing it up. So, you know.
Yeah. And see, I feel like now I got to do the same thing, give you like that St. Louis treatment, because if you come to this city, like I, this is the crazy part about St. Louis. I look at St. Louis the same way like white people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are all white people bad? Absolutely not.
Right.
Are some of them bad? Treacherous.
Mm-hmm.
So St. Louis
Right.
is the same way. Like, is all of St. Louis bad? No. But there are some treacherous parts that you can get caught up in, and you don't. This is gonna sound crazy. You can spot out of towners. Like it's the walk. Like you just, it's like coming to America almost. You know, like take me to Queens. Nigga, you ain't from
Yeah.
around.
Right.
Like
Right.
you know, and like and this gonna like who like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stay downtown. Right there. That nobody stays downtown. I mean, you stay downtown if you have a conference or if you have business down. If there's a reason to be there, but if you're coming to visit the city and you want to see something, you're not your first. You're not gonna go downtown.
So where do niggas be at in St. Louis? Like, where's the tour spot?
So that's just it. It depends on how you want to tour. Like so, most cities, like we're gonna say like a Chicago, right? In Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
you can take Ubers everywhere, and you can taxi public trains, I mean, use the L and you can get around the Navy and go to all the attractions you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you hop your ass on that Metrolink here to go to the zoo and other shit no, that's not beneficial for you because St. Louis you actually where other cities you don't need a rental car because it's stupid because you have to pay to park and pay. Nah, you get a rental car here so you can move around and go to all of the different pockets because everything is 20 to 30 minutes kind of away from each other, but they're also not connected to each other either. So,
But see, with us, it's like in Detroit, when I say us, it's like you need a rental, but it's only because the public transit is you taking a risk getting on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for
yeah,
the same
Hell yeah.
reasons. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get robbed, you can get jumped, like whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that, especially as an out of towner, because it's similar. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas who ain't from
yeah.
Detroit, you can kind of tell, like, nigga, where you
And,
from? Like, cause we
and
like
Right.
just even in the way that, and I know St. Louis is similar in this respect. There's a very specific like lingo that only niggas from Detroit talk like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's certain phrases and certain shit that we say that niggas from other places don't say. So it's just like you can just tell, you know what I mean? So but there's places like everywhere that you would want to go is relatively close to each other, like especially in the downtown area. You know what I'm saying? Like all that shit is basically all around each other. All the campus marshes and the skate park and the art
yeah,
galleries and all the restaurants and the clubs. Like all that shit is right around each other. And then if you want to
Yup.
like go to Belle Isle during the day, that shit ain't too far. But you don't want to take public. Well, maybe the new people move or not the people mover, the like light rail shit they got on Woodward, like that's pretty nice. So people could take
Yup.
that. And then like those bike and drink things, you know what I'm saying, that
You can
people
hop
be
on a
doing.
scooter.
yeah.
Right,
But
right. You can hop on the scooters, you know. So actually, now that I think about it, they did kind of, but you ain't trying to hop on them buses though. Fuck all that.
Nah, that's out.
and so our geography is confusing. So
Okay.
so I'm gonna use Chicago for an example. So Chicago is the city of Chicago, right? But if you go to
Mhm.
Naperville, that's the suburbs.
Right.
You already know like you're not in Chicago, you're on the north, so you're in the suburbs of Chicago and Naperville and stuff around there.
Mhm.
St. Louis is like that, but not like that. So there's St. Louis City, and then there's St. Louis County.
Mhm.
St. Louis,
Mm.
all of this is the same fucking circle. So it's
Mhm.
not like it's dictated by distance or anything like that. But St. Louis County has 81 municipalities, some big,
Mm.
some small. So you'll be like, oh, I'm in Chesterfield, I'm in Webster Groves, I'm in Brentwood, I'm in Berkeley, I'm in Ferguson, you're in all of these neighborhoods. All of that's still St. Louis County.
Mhm.
Now St. Louis City is St. Louis City.
That's the
But
same
even,
thing as LA.
yeah,
It's the exact
Yeah,
same thing. There's
that's
Los Angeles County that has
yeah,
Long Beach, Compton,
yeah.
Watts, Inglewood. All that shit is Los Angeles County. But then LA is Los Angeles City, proper
So
LA that people call it.
that's what made me. That's what I was thinking of as soon as he was breaking down St. Louis.
yeah, so but people be like, oh yeah, I'm staying out here by, I'm in Brentwood.
Yeah.
It's stay out there. That's cool. Like that's a nice little central location. You can get
Mm-hmm.
to everywhere you need to go. You know, you can stay in different, but St. Louis is a town. Like I had to really realize that the city of St. Louis is what Atlanta is for white people.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah,
So like you know how we want to go to Atlanta, and we want like when we go to Atlanta, we like, oh my god, Atlanta is so rich. Is dope. Like every black person flocks to Atlanta, right? White people do the same thing for St. Louis. Like
Why?
so,
Like county?
huh?
like the
County?
county or the city.
No, like the whole city, the whole like when they come to St. Louis, like people's like, we're gonna take a weekend and go. This is like a touristy destination for them, but it's only for
That's
the
what I
white.
was asking. Like
Yeah,
where do those people stay?
so they like the zoo because our zoo is the number one in the country and it's a free zoo. So they go to the zoo.
Straight.
Then you can catch a Cardinal game, and then then if the Blues are playing, it's hockey. You know, you got it's like Billiken basketball, college, but like a little bit of that, but it's also like what is an event, like what you want to do. And it's a top, I'm gonna say top five just because I'm here. It's a top 10 food city too. So
Yeah,
because it's
no, I think that's kind
because
of agreed upon.
yeah, like
I've been to St. Louis once before, and I can say that that's fact.
yeah, you can have some of the best food. Like we just found an Italian spot like last week, and it had, I mean, it's been in the city years. Like they got a picture of fucking Denzel Washington when it looked like he was in his glory days, like from the movie Glory, that he ate at this restaurant in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? I had never been there.
That's how our
Best,
pops is. He be finding all type of shit
yeah,
on the low, like just random
Yeah.
little spots in the city. And I'd be like, nigga, how
yeah,
did you find this? And he's like, nigga, I just drove up and saw it was a restaurant and checked it out one day and it was good.
yeah.
I'm
Probably
like,
the best
keep doing
Italian
that.
food I ever had.
Yep. That's
So
exactly how that should go.
yeah,
Right.
so I mean, it's stuff like that. You can So whatever you want to do in St. Louis, you can always do, but you just gotta. It's literally one of those. Excuse me. Mind your surroundings.
Yeah.
Like don't
Right.
like it's just gonna like. I went to DC for the first time like 2 years ago. Right,
Mm-hmm.
first day in Washington DC, head on a swivel. I'm like, I don't know, like
Oh
it's,
yeah.
you know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying. By day 3 of DC, I was walking from Whole Foods. Not looking up, talking about head no one, felt comfortable, felt safe, never felt threatened. Like DC might be one of this now. I do know because of where I'm of pockets of DC are bad. Well, we were down by U Street by the college. Totally
Oh,
safe.
okay.
Totally safe. Could
Oh yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
happen? It could. Likely to happen? Not so much.
Nah.
But you can go 4 blocks over and be in the trenches.
I was gonna say, again, I keep bringing up LA, but that's just because geographically, that's how it's set up with all the gang shit. So it's kind of the same thing. Like USC's campus is right in a blood hood. So it's like as soon as you step off campus, you on somebody's turf. You know what I'm saying? So like, how going to the liquor store is a very regular thing when you're in college. Maybe not at USC. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick the right liquor store, otherwise you might get pressed. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
And I guess California is a different on the strength
it's so different.
because it's the birthplace of gang culture, but it's also the only place where I don't want to say gangs are respected, but the lifestyle of like they really be on it, be like, nah, that's just where you at. You
Yeah.
know, like it's and it's
Everywhere else, the gangs have what I would call personal beef, where you
Yeah.
know your enemies personally because y'all niggas went to high school together and that person formed their own gang and y'all niggas formed your own gang and there's like an actual issue. And when y'all niggas are done with that shit, it kind of dies. You know what I'm saying? And there might be new generations of each gang, but now they got new beefs. They not focused on whatever the old shit was with y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it kind of is everywhere else in the country. Cali's the only place where, again, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Again, just using Michigan neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm from East Warren. Yo, I'm from Dexter. Oh, that means we're enemies and we have to fight, even though I've never seen you before. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know you haven't done anything to me personally, but based purely on the fact that you live over there and you told me you live over there, now we got to fight. And I
Yeah.
gotta fight
Like,
two of your
and
other
I was,
homies just because they live over there too. No other reason. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that's a wild place. And all these
yeah.
niggas go to jail. Like it's crazy. Like
In other states, it's literally like you said over personal beef. In Cali, it's over, oh, you're from that territory. I'm from this territory. We are
that's
beefing.
it. And based on that alone, we have to fight each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
yeah, St. Louis ain't that territorial. We ain't.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. Like the niggas who are into it in St. Louis, you know why they into it. It's like, oh, because that nigga fucked that nigga's girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then his cousin got into it with the other nigga because he was his homie and blah blah blah. Now the gang's into it. It's like it's very logical. It makes sense. And Cali, these niggas be like, because we've been beefing since the '80s. Like you wasn't born
That's the
yet.
only reason.
Well, I was born into it, so it is what it
you
is.
know,
Like that shit crazy.
this is unrelated but related. I don't know how we're gonna tie it into. I thought when Meeks came home, some type of order was going to be restored, and I have yet to see it.
50
Not
ruined
saying
it,
that it
man.
hadn't happened, just
50
saying.
ruined it, bro.
Yeah, he really did.
50 ruined it when he came out and called that nigga a snitch.
Mm,
Then everybody started questioning him, like, because he was supposed to have that whole concert, that the Big Meech Home concert and all that shit. That shit got canceled like days after 50 came out with them allegations. Like, oh, Big Meech told? Like, who's the chick who we know for sure told on everybody that was
was
trying to
working
get
to get
him
him
out
out.
of prison? And that's iffy. And then, and I still don't even necessarily all the way by the fact that he told, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still don't see any proof or even solid
So
evidence of that. Like,
the story from the guy from St. Louis,
I'll put it like this. I'm
it's
not going to
paper.
say
I'll
I'd be
say this.
shocked about it, but
It's,
as of
it's
right now, I haven't seen enough to be like,
yeah.
yes, that's what happened.
His story is paperwork supported by now.
But is Meech's name in the paperwork or is it just the girl?
No, I think it
Yeah,
was.
that's $1 million question.
It's I think it's Meech's name, and it's also Meech's name early on. So it's one of those. I hate to say this. Two things can be true.
Go ahead.
Did Because then we're gonna get into the whole did he snitch and what is snitching, or did I tell or did I just get them off of me or put whatever, you know. Did something happen clearly on that? Yes, it did. How it happened, but that doesn't mean like if I tell on you on something that they already know about or whatever, based on whatever rules of the game we have, then that don't make me a snitch because I didn't get caught up and then tell you, oh yes, no, don't get me, go after him, or then we start
Right.
arguing over the nuances of what is this and what is that, you know.
Or like, because this is how my understanding of it goes. Eric, I'm just using you as an example. I'm not saying nothing about
Right.
you. But
Right.
if I just tell Eric, like Marcus, me and you do a crime, you come
Right.
out to Phoenix, we wild the fuck out. Eric's at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, we go do some ill shit. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I tell this nigga Eric about it the next day. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, damn, that shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. And he just knows about it now at this point. And then for whatever reason, later on in life, you know what I'm saying? He's in trouble. And then he gives up that information, which locks you up for whatever reason. He says, yo, my brother was there too, but can you let that nigga slide? That's not me telling. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's sort of the understanding I have is that he had frequent conversations with this woman. She got caught up on her own bullshit and used that information that Meech gave her, which fucked over old boy from St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? But the question in my mind is, was it done at Meech's directive or was it just some information that he happened to give her? Because if it's that, to me, that you can't blame him for that. You know what I'm saying? You could be like, yo, be more careful with who you talk to. That's fucked up because it resulted in XYZ. But to label him that is too strong. Versus if it's his directive and he says, yo, Mrs. Such and such, whatever her name is, I need you to do this so that way I can get up out of here in 20 instead of 30. Then you're telling. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
So I don't know.
It's that question is valid and true, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way I understand it too, because St. Louis boss was a dude named J-Bo, right?
Right.
So, however however that question was asked or told or felt, right? J-Bo put himself in a position to be like, nah, homie, calm down. I'm gonna take care of X, Y, and Z for you. Don't say that about Big Bro over here.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So his story of questioning that has been 20 years, has been long standing. But then when, of course, BMF is at the peak and everybody else, it was quiet. It was quiet. And then, I mean, he was quiet about it because whatever was situation was being happening, he was being taken care of. Now, that shit dead. And now you sitting here saying like J-Bo got his own cases and got caught up in X, Y, and Z. So he can. It's not a question of he's not looking out. He can't.
Right.
So
Yeah.
now me on the opposite end was like, well, shit. I've been saying the same shit for 20 years. Meech been had that, because now it's just kind of gone away. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know all that. And like I'm not no fucking hood investigator reporter and shit. Like, I don't have to true
Yeah, I
crime
got.
go through all of this shit.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Plus, my
couple.
thing is too. I'm gonna just be real. It's hard to convince me that a nigga who did a dub told. Like, that's not that much benefit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he did a
Yeah, that's the
dime,
other thing that makes it
maybe.
hard.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he did a dime, maybe. If he did 7, I could see that. But nigga, you did 20. Like,
Yeah, that's a long time
you know what I'm
to
saying? Like, what
This
benefit did you get
that's a
out of
long
the
time to throw a
telling?
label
Like,
on it.
this is gonna
yeah.
sound crazy too. Woody from YSL said
Mm-hmm.
something that has piqued my interest and stuck with me. And he said a lot of crazy shit too. But he was like, how you get a Fed case, right? And you get bail. Feds don't need no money. So why are you getting bail unless you telling? And like, and it kind of, because I was like, hold on, now everybody who gets bail had to give up something else, or you can't give me this, but you don't give me the top of the totem pole, but you give me some mid level or lower level.
Well, and I could really believe that when it comes to like mid level and low level street niggas too, who aren't rich, because they only like bail makes sense when you have a lot to lose or you have a lot to give up, like a Diddy type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, we're gonna make you pay millions. You're gonna want that back, so you're gonna show up to court. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Versus You know, I mean, Diddy's a bad situation because they kept him locked up, but you know what I'm saying? Like people with that caliber of money who they do let free. That's why. It's because nigga, you want this $5 million back that we just made you, you know, give to the court. So you gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? Versus the nigga who you bail out of a federal case, you know what I'm saying, and you regular Joe Blow, you know what I'm saying? You might try to dip up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And you might be harder to find because you're not famous and people aren't looking for you. People are looking for you as far as the feds, but you
Right.
know, you get what I'm saying? Like it might be easier
Yeah.
for you to hide. You know what I'm saying? You might know a bunch of motherfuckers that they don't know you know who are willing to hide you, and then you can get up out of here. You know, so um, but that is a good point though. That's a good point. That's interesting. And especially niggas who have been through it and like I mean a nigga like Woody, you know, again, going back to LA, we're going back to Cali. That's this whole episode. The nigga was in the 60s with a couple gang members on camera, like on Instagram Live and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like after all of this YSL shit. And it's like, if you're a regular nigga, I can understand you being like, yo, man, like, I get why Woody did what he did. And hey, at least he ended up going back and lying or, you know, saying he was lying or whatever the case, like, and he tried to save everybody. Like, you can kind of say that when you're a civilian or when you're like street adjacent, but you're not all the way involved in no shit. If you a gang member, though, you have to be totally against what Woody did, especially if you're an active gang member. So there's no reason for him to be in your neighborhood. But he just proved that you can do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like 6ix9ine didn't go that far. Like he wasn't in niggas' hoods. Like he was just still on Instagram talking shit. You know what I'm saying? And he pulled that real quick 3 a.m. move in Chicago and got the fuck up out of there. So it's like,
God, that was so funny.
he's not doing real shit. Woody was actually in the 60s just hanging out. And I'm like, all right, like
On camera
the
for
niggas
a
who brought
while
him there
too.
had to apologize, but still, like,
Mm.
you know, it's a different era. That would have never happened back in the day.
A lot of the snitching it'd be self snitching and it become straight from IG
That's
Yeah.
always
on all
been a
them
little
on
bit
all
more
them
acceptable
lives.
though, because it's like you can tell on yourself and not telling nobody else, and niggas on that the niggas will be like, hey, whatever, that's you.
Right.
But when you're bringing other people into it, that's kind of always been frowned upon, but that's becoming less and less frowned upon, I feel like.
Mm. Yeah, and Vlad has opened the door to niggas telling on themselves. So, you know.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get up out of here too, did y'all see this news? The next Super Bowl is rumored to be hosted then the Live Nation great himself, Jay-Z. He will headline.
I didn't hear that,
You didn't hear that?
but that
It is.
means he's
That tells
probably
me that
preparing a
maybe
new
an album is
project then.
coming. Yep.
Yep.
That's what I was
Yep. Me and
thinking.
Eric on the same page.
I was
So
like,
you
if Jay's doing the Super Bowl, that tells me we're getting new music.
Yep.
mm, so you thought new music. I thought his deal was coming to an end.
Could be both.
His Live Nation, whatever.
Oh wait, no. I think he just extended recently.
I was gonna say I highly doubt
I'm pretty
that
sure he
they.
just extended pretty recently too.
I don't see why they wouldn't. Yeah.
Because I mean, now, granted, Jay is gonna crazy. You can't talk about the man, and you know the man. I was literally saying to myself after Kendrick, right, and what we just saw, clearly you can't go get Drake. Clearly,
No.
that's. I mean that. Who?
Drake is still trying to recover, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't know it
yeah.
was gonna be this bad.
No, Drake's not gonna recover. Like,
That
let me
shit is
rephrase.
wild. I thought, man,
Drake is gonna.
Yeah, it's taken a really long time.
So, y'all produce. You produce. You know, Drake is gonna have to go to the fingerprint vault of the studios and get one of those songs. Don't give me what's on the hard drive that's in the backpack. Give me the one that you got protected, that you know is a guarantee, and it has to be a certified banger. And he's back, but he just hasn't done that yet. And for whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit there and say he doesn't have it. I will never. I cannot.
I'm almost getting to the point where I'm wondering, like, do niggas accept it even if he drops it, even if it's that?
If it's hot, yes, they do. It's one. It's like a
But
race.
here's
Yeah,
why I say that though: propaganda is a strong thing, bro. Like,
No, it's a
if
racist joke. As long as it's funny, it's not racist.
true, but
that's a good
that is
comparison.
true. But even if it's funny, if people have turned on you, it instantly becomes not funny, even if it was funny before. Prime
I,
example, prime example is Chappelle. I love Chappelle, but people got tired of the T jokes. You know what I'm saying? They got
Yeah, they
tired
did.
of it. He did it for 4 specials. It was like, okay, on the first one, it was kind of shock value e type of funny. Second one, okay, I get it because they got overly sensitive. So you're like, I'm a, all right.
I'm
Third,
doubling down.
okay, bro. Like, what? All right. Fourth, nigga.
It's
Come
like
on, fam.
chill.
Like, there's only so many ladies with dick jokes that you can do. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's only so many. So it's like, now you're just beating the dead horse. And now these jokes that were funny, now you've made the audience turn against you. And what could have otherwise been funny is now not funny because it's coming from you. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I feel like he
I
could
Yeah,
be running
also
that risk. It's almost like like if people are truly convinced that this nigga's a pedophile, you know what I'm saying? Like
I don't.
it does. I know, but a certain
Yeah.
segment of the people are though because there was enough. There was enough there to make that stick. You know what
right.
I'm saying? Whether you think he's a true definition pedophile or not, there's enough. Hey, you do be with young bitches a lot, and that's weird. That's enough for some people. So like, if that's stuck, does it matter how hot the nigga's record is in 2025? Not in 2008 when R. Kelly was
Well,
doing it, but in
well,
2025 when everybody is like super aware of this type of shit and talking about it all the time. And Me Too happened. And you know what I
Right.
mean? Like
yeah.
it's different now. That's why I'm wondering, like, can he recover almost? Like
I
it's been a while. Like
it,
Yeah.
it's been a year,
it's
like
been it's
over a
been
year now.
it's been a year. It's been a long time. I'm not gonna count him out. So I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I won't either.
I also won't disagree with you because it's
I'm
right there
getting
at the
there. I'm
solid.
gonna be
But
real. I'm getting
I
I'm getting
don't
close.
I don't think that I don't. So by your definition of what you just said, right?
Okay.
It's equal because you said even if it's a certified banger, people won't accept it. So that's equal to him being right now washed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I won't say Drake is washed.
I'm not willing to go that far yet, but what I'm saying is it's getting to that point where I might say it soon. Just cause like and then also when the only niggas that are backing you up are niggas like academics, like
Yeah. That's when it's bad.
you know what I mean?
So
Like
it,
niggas
it,
watch academics just because he has, different connections and like he breaks different news on his Twitch stream and shit like that. But like niggas don't like academics and niggas don't respect academics. You know what I'm saying? I hit my
Yeah.
niggas in the group chat like y'all niggas let Detroit slide through, or y'all niggas let academics slide through Detroit and ain't do shit. And all my niggas was cracking jokes like, nah, nigga, he was in the sweet high and otherwise like nobody was like,
Mad
yeah,
security.
whatever, leave that nigga alone. We fuck with academics. Like everybody immediately knew to hate. You know what I'm
right.
saying? In the group chat, we all
Right.
knew. Like niggas don't like that nigga. So it's like when that's your cheerleader and niggas of that ilk, you lost the plot, bro. Like you need some, you know what I mean? Like
And then
It's
and then the other thing is that like I hate to steal this from Ack, but the clock is ticking on
I'm saying,
Drake putting out a banger. Like, because again, like I always go back to the album that he did with Party and how it was basically just a Drake featuring Party album with a couple of Lucy records that probably could have ended up on like something else. Like nothing from that really stuck either, and that was at the top of the year. And I mean, not a lot of music from this year really has landed and stuck like it really did last year, in my opinion. but at the same time, we are coming up on the anniversary of this beef and the fact that
No, we're
it's
past it. The
well,
beef
yeah,
started
well,
in May of
yeah,
last
sorry.
year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
sorry. Now that we're
that
past
shit was
it,
Memorial Day.
the fact that we are still talking about it and still talking about the ramifications and the after effects, like even the actual concert that Kendrick was at in Toronto recently, like that was people were looking at that like another victory lap, like even
I really
outside of
feel
the
like
whole
Kendrick
Super
Ja
Bowl thing.
ruled this nigga. Like I'm
You
feeling
mean
that
50
way.
Cent? 50 Cent Ja ruled him. Is that what you
Yeah.
mean?
Nah, Kendrick is
Oh, I see what
50
you mean.
and Drake is Ja Rule.
Oh,
I feel like
oh,
Kendrick Ja ruled him.
oh, absolutely. I can, right. To, let me rephrase.
But
Yeah.
like Rule never came back.
But it, so let me rephrase.
Never.
If
He
he
had one
didn't,
song after that, New York, and then it
yeah,
went right back downhill.
if he hasn't, this is the closest equivalent we've seen since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the yeah. I would definitely say that.
Like,
Yeah,
The
I could see that. I could, and
can we talk about that just real quick? What should have Ja Rule done actually? Like, how could he have saved his career? Because obviously, when he did clap back and when he did the disses, that failed. Like, so
yeah,
should he have just tried harder and dropped more disses and like tried to fight back more? Or
so
should he have just stuck to his lane and said, fuck what y'all niggas talking about? I'm going to make these hits with Ashanti.
I think he should have stuck to his lane.
hindsight 2020,
Yes.
twofold. One, what Eric said, stick to his lane, and then second, imagine Ja Rule where Ludacris is on the Fast franchise. So if he
So
Yeah.
just go Hollywood.
if he would have stuck, no, he would have still did the music like of staying in his lane, but then simultaneously went Hollywood, and you saw him pursuing. I'm doing acting right now, and then I'm doing in these
Yeah.
movies. So it's a twofold. So yeah, and then
So essentially, he should have just ignored 50 in them.
yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
How do you do that though when also Eminem's coming at you? We got to think about this. We got to really think about this. Diss tracks aimed at Ja Rule came from Eminem, 50 Cent, Obi Trice, Dr. Dre, Busta Rhymes, all of D12, all of G Unit.
So
How
Here's
do you
the
ignore that?
here's the thing that could have saved him is
Go.
a lot of that shit was, even though they were all album cuts and a couple of mixtape cuts and shit like that, a lot of people did not hear a lot of those records.
Mm,
Like, we know about them because of where we come from and what we listen to. But as far as the masses, no, the masses didn't hear a lot of them disses. Like, and if they did hear them, I highly doubt that they would have referenced and exactly knew what they were talking about in the specific bars, unless they were bars that specifically said Ja's name. And even in those, some of those were even loosely referencing him without just flat out saying his name. So I think if he sticks to his lane and ignores it, I think he still gets away with being more on the R&B, rap, and pop side more so than the street side. Because, like you said, Shane, the thing that fucked him up was that he responded. Um, he tried to respond quickly, and he tried to respond with shit that he thought was gonna work right around the time that he was already in his lane, and that's what kind of fucked him up. Whereas with
I don't know
50,
though, man.
50,
I don't
but the thing
know.
is
And
with
only
50,
reason I say that is because because the Hail Mary remix was on the radio. Like that Eminem 50 Cent Busta Rhymes disc, the Hail Mary, that was on the radio. I heard that on like JLB first. And then I went and listened to the mixtape. So they were actually playing that on the radio. And this shit hits the fan, Obi Trice, Eminem, and Dr. Dre. That was a single as well. That came out after Got Some Teeth. So I'm like, they were playing these dish records on the actual radio. That's the only thing that I slightly disagree because I'm like, I do feel like a lot of people knew about this shit.
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's my only,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I do agree ultimately though that most of that shit was on mixtapes and like you had to be like seeking that shit out. Like you had to know that the Clue tape came out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
so I
But
agree with you mostly, but some of that shit was on the radio though. Go ahead, Marcus.
twofold. One, this is gonna sound so shitty to condone or to say. Nobody got shot.
Niggas got beat up though, and niggas got stabbed.
So no, but nobody got shot. So it was never
50
that
got
type.
shot 9 times.
Not by Ja Rule though.
Right, but that was
No,
part
no,
of the
that's
reason why that was so personal though, was because Ja Rule is affiliated with the niggas that shot him, allegedly.
well alleged, yeah. So nobody was getting shot. So
Not
mind you,
during the beef, no.
not during the beef. There was nobody got shot. Ja Rule lost New York. New,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know. So I don't. Did he? Did he
But
lose?
then he came back with Fat Joe and Jada. And
He
that was his
came.
only other
Yeah, but
hit after the
it was
beef.
too late by
Yeah,
that point.
yeah.
That was the time though, in my opinion, that he could have made the comeback because that was his only hit after the beef. Like, and that song had nothing to do with 50. Because Clapback failed miserably.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I don't know if it was Cameron or if it was Dane who was talking about Harlem. Harlem, like Harlem niggas control Harlem. Harlem controls New York. Whoever controls Harlem controls New York. Whoever controls New York runs hip hop. Whoever controls hip hop runs the world. Like he broke it down like that.
Yeah, I
So
remember that.
you remember? So to think that if you think about it like that, like it's a nigga on Linux and 146, right? That's controlling everything.
I mean, but it makes sense though. Cause like think about it, right? Like let's really think about it. Let's think about that Dipset era real quick, just before we close out, because this is an ill era. And it illustrates your point perfectly. I highly doubt Cam and Jim made up the style that they made popular. You get what I'm saying?
Oh
That
yeah,
was influenced by them 80s drug dealer niggas who used to wear the furs outside and all of that shit. That's where Cam got his swag from. Adding the pink might have been his thing just to make it different. But the overall style was from his OG niggas and shit. And then Jim Jones, I'm sure that wallet chain rockstar shit, he didn't make that up. I'm sure he got that probably from some younger niggas in Harlem who he thought was fly. And he was like, oh, I'm finna incorporate that into my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then everybody started dressing like that. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne and everybody started dressing like them niggas.
you remember when the
So that's
ATL?
accurate.
Remember party like a rock star.
Yeah.
You know, so that was about the same time that Jim kind of started changing too, and it
But
was
that came out after Jim was dressing like that though.
but so
Yep.
that was also at a time in the game where uh I'm gonna say this exclusivity, exclusive,
Very,
exclusivity.
very important.
But, you know,
Yeah.
it wasn't, oh, you got it. It was you got to have it first,
Or
or
just
you
you can't find this shit nowhere else type
Right.
shit.
That
Like
too.
I got some shit, it's authentic. Like it's not fake, it's not a knockoff, it's not some shit I had made up the street or whatever,
right,
but
or it
you
was
It's
can't
the
get it.
real shit.
it was a real shit, or it was so expensive at your age you can't afford it.
Yep.
I.e., Mitchell and Ness jerseys.
There we go. There we go. I'm
Mm-hmm.
rocking one right now. Matter of fact, here.
Mitchell and
Oh,
Ness,
wow.
you in high school, like, oh yeah, you could have an Allen Iverson jersey. You could have had a Carmelo, and you could have had you could have had any jersey. But if you had that jersey in a Mitchell and Ness,
You was crazy with it.
oh, now it's totally different.
Yep.
Yep. For me in
Yeah.
high school, it was when when the Tisa snapbacks got popping.
Yeah, I remember that because you was the one
Yeah.
who had the hook up first. Nobody else knew where to
Yep.
get them from.
Mm.
That was the other ill spot or the other ill thing. It's like when you had a clothing spot that nobody else knew about type shit. Because
Oh
we
yeah,
had a friend of our mom's, you know what I'm saying? She had a clothing store in my mom's neighborhood where she grew up. So she used to go to New York all the time, get all the clothes, you know what I'm saying, and bring them back and sell them out her store. And so she used to give us like the ill discount. She would basically only charge us damn near what she paid. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when it came to us, she wasn't making too much profit, but she wanted to, you know, look out for the family and make sure we was fresh for school. So we had all the throwbacks and shit. But when everyone else is going to the store paying 140, 150, 200, we paying 80. You know what I'm saying? We paying 70, still be the authentic boys, fresh out of Harlem type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
So
that
you
was
want to
our hookup. You know what I'm saying?
Back when
That
Air
was the
Force
way
was
that
only
we.
$55.
Yes,
Right. Back when
that's dope.
Forces out the store was 75, and that was like, damn, nigga, that the shoes is getting kind of
And
expensive now. You know what I'm saying? Back when we could get them for the high 60. Yes,
it's down.
sir.
It's downstairs right now. Like, cause I had so many of them. I had every single FUBU hoodie.
Oh yeah.
So if it had
The
Dirty South,
Uptown, the
Atlanta,
West
the
Side,
wet,
the
Yeah,
that
those
was
was
like
hard.
I had
St.
every
Louis, Detroit.
so people was like, damn, bro, how you nobody knew my mama worked at JCPenney and was a manager.
See?
Because you saw them in the store and they was $200 plus.
Mm-hmm.
But I had every single, and then when they wasn't the hoodie, they just had like the little short sleeve joints, like the jerk. Like I had them too. The only ones I didn't get, I couldn't because I was still a big nigga. I couldn't get with the Fat Albert shit. I did not wear that. I didn't.
I see. Yeah, the platinum FUBU. Yeah, we
Yeah, I
definitely
didn't.
was
Yeah, I
rocking
did not wear
those.
nothing platinum FUBU.
Well, that was the Fat Albert at first, and then they switched when throwbacks got popular. They switched to the Harlem Globetrotters, which was fucking genius.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
they was using, because it was like real niggas that used to be Globetrotters. You know what I'm saying? So they was just right on the throwback trend, and it was like, shit, niggas knew. You know what I'm saying? Sweet Lou Dunbar jersey. Let's go.
then,
All right, gentlemen.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
This has been another episode of the Bar Exam. Again, Allie will be back next week. Don't click it off just because she ain't here. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, we funny and we're entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we have beautiful faces as well. So don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Click subscribe. Follow us. You know what I'm saying? Follow Eric at the Eric G Life on all platforms. Follow Marcus at Mr. Marcus TV on all platforms. Follow me at Shane_Ethos on all platforms. Follow us at the Ethos Media Network and at the Bar Exam Pod. And click some of them links down below. If you are artist, you know what I mean, you definitely want that distribution. Click on that Smashes link. And outside of that, we'll catch you all next week. Peace.
Later, y'all.